Hello and welcome to Age 94, Age of Ascent. This is your host Wind with Utopia News. We're covering out of protection wars today. The age has just begun yesterday, human time, and we are barely 24 hours into this age now, slightly more than that actually. Um, the age started while I was at work, I believe, and out of protection was while I was at work too. Very exciting. Very exciting. Gotta love it when that happens when you're working. Without any ado now, let's move on to the podcast. All right, we're looking at the World of Legends today again, age 94, Age of Ascent. We're getting ever closer to that age 100. Lots of exciting things planned at that time. All right, there's our lovely stream. Now be sure to join in live on the Discord. I will have a chat set up on there where you can join and do a shout out or ask some questions or something like that. But you will be muted. All right, we're joined inside the chat now. Yeah, we're looking for convergence. That's right, Quirky Turtle. All right, now let's move over to where we are here. Okay, what do we got here? We got wars currently in progress. Okay, let's see if anyone's even worth looking at right now in this category here. All right. Yeah, no, nothing really looking at the top 10 here. I mean, we got some bigger kingdoms, 5-7, 6-6, 4-12, 8-2, 7-10, 3-11, 4-7, 8-4. Hey, the core's on there, 8-12. Sweet. Should be a good age. All right. I mean, honor chart, we're kind of seeing the same thing, so we'll just X those for now. Nothing really to see there. Let's look at the first war in progress, though. It looks like, according to the system here, Ghetto Paradise was the first one to go to war. There you go, Haffer number one. He always likes to say that a lot. Yeah, so anyway, what do we have here? We got the first war. We got Ghetto Paradise versus Korsov City. Now, Ghetto Paradise and Korsov City, you don't recognize either of those kingdoms off the bat, obviously. Let's take a look and see what's going on in their war. Land-wise, not a whole lot going on. I mean, this is kind of what's expected in these beginning wars. Yeah, good job. You guys, have the best shot at first blood here. A new achievement that I'm going to be giving out to kingdoms at the beginning of the age. It'll be awarded to you if you tag at the end of the age. Of course, your kingdom number will be recorded with the achievement as being completed or what have you during that time. And then at the end, I'll make a special note of it on the news. So awesome, guys. Let's see that war happening. What do we got next? Shout out to Merry Marauders. Saw their banner tagged recently. Let's see if we got any comments here. Nice Pikachu at Haffer. All right, yeah, awesome. Merry Marauders going into your first war. Looks like Happy Holidays is doing a little bit more damage there. Let's take a look at the land side. Nothing but convergence here. These out of protection wars are nothing but convergence. I mean, there's not a whole lot going on, although it does look like Merry Marauders did take quite a hit there compared to the other kingdom. There's no real point to even look at the honor chart. I mean, we kind of expect to see this probably through every single kingdom that we go through. Checkmate 3-1, STFO, Drunken Mistakes. Looks like this is a pretty even war as well. Nice to see all these kingdoms going to war are even numbers. There's no farm out wars happening yet anyway. Checkmate. Hey, what up, Checkmate? Versus Drunken Mistakes. Awesome. Looks like Drunken Mistakes is down one player, but will that stop them from winning? I don't know. Looks like they're already in a little bit of an upper position here. In that first war that we were looking at, this Ghetto Paradise one, we were kind of seeing, a very even war. However, with Happy Holidays and Drunken Mistakes here, these two wars, it's pretty clear who's actually on top and doing a little bit more damage there. That is to say, there's still plenty of opportunity for either kingdom to pull themselves out of there. Now let's take a look at the next one. We got the Utopian excuses war agreed. Oh, thank heaven for. All right. Yeah, again, short one player. Huh. All right. Either way, it looks like, oh, they got one player in, brand new province as well. So they're down actually two provinces. And they got a character named Fox. That's pretty funny. Who's a monarch? Mudslide. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, again, not too much happening in these out of protection wars. I mean, generally the idea is you're basically more or less max gaining. I mean, if you can sink enemy provinces, that's kind of what you want to do. You want to eliminate, one province at a time, ideally, unless your enemy's really not got their eye on the ball and they're kind of just doing whatever. In which case, you can just best gain or max gains essentially, and just do as much damage as you can with your stealth and your mana. I mean that's the biggest thing is the usage of stealth and mana, and if you can throw out that dragon and have a ritual, you're in a much better position over your opponent. So versus your opponent with no dragon, no ritual, you're in a much better situation there. Let's move on to the next one. What do we got here? Unnamed Kingdom versus 80s Matinee War. All right, let's take a look here. Again, you see it clear that Unnamed Kingdom has done a little bit more damage there to open up. Interesting. Let's see what we got here. A lot of avians, dark elves, elf, halfling, and avians, dark elf, dryads, elf, fairy, halfling. Well, they got a real mixture of stuff over here on this kingdom over here. Let's see. Yeah, both evenly matched. So we'll see. Again, there's not much to look at here in these out of protection wars. Just kind of see who's going to war and what kind of setups they might have. See again, quite a dip there, but again, they did enough damage to what do they think we're doing? Again, there's not a whole lot to look at here. That's why these out of protection wars, people don't put too much into them. There usually isn't too much coverage. It's mostly just, who wins the out of protection wars is the most important thing. We got a pretty heavy Dryad kingdom here. These guys look interesting. Let's see what we got. Who are they up against? Some orcs and Dryads. I wonder what all these Dryads are. Um, that'd be interesting to know for sure. But they're actually taking more damage than the other kingdoms, so maybe that's just because again these wars have just started. Um, hmm, Interesting. Yeah, no, it's clear who's actually doing more damage in these wars. I mean, it's very likely that whoever's in this upper position at the beginning of the war is going to maintain that trend, and it's very likely that anyone who manages to stay in that upper position is going to be taking the war win on this one. Although it could go either way. I mean, look at this. We're just 7 hours in. Um, we got some cool kingdom names here. I think we're gonna have a pretty good theme competition this time. We got movie quotes versus dumb ways to die. I mean, these two are probably gonna show up um, on the themes thing. It's possible. I mean, it looks like they did put some good effort into it. So these are probably two well-known kingdoms, I would think, for them to be this organized. All right, let's see what we got here. 1 out of 6 versus 62,000. Interesting. Makes you sound like a radio DJ. Yeah, I could get something like that actually. I need like buttons and stuff that I can press actually. So let's take a look here. Oh, it looks like we got a visitor here in the Discord chat. Hope my sound isn't getting doubled up. I'm kind of just testing this out. It shouldn't though because my audio is muted. So you guys should be able to hear me on Discord, but it's not actually recording anything but my live input. So that's good. This is a good test as well before we get into any of the serious podcasts. All right, let's move on to the next one. I mean, good job, guys. I mean, sweet. I think out of everyone gone to war so far, I think you two kingdoms, Dumb Ways to Die, and movie quotes so far, possibly have the best kingdom names. Let's take a look at who you are. Movie quote 7-9 versus 6-9. Nice. Very interesting sequential. Yeah, 6-7-9 and 6-9 going to war. All right, good job, good job. I actually have some information on the serial killers war. So we're just going to take a quick look at that and maybe see where they're at right now. Because I think I've got about 3 hours of data for them. Here we go. Serial killers in the upper hand position here versus Tugly Woods. Looks like I got the perspective of the winner's side. And thank Cage and Spooky Cookie for this new Kingdom News formatter to replace Seraphim. So the notes I have here is Tugly Woods has expropriation ritual active and have sent an emerald. Serial Killer has no ritual active and has sent an emerald. So they both have sent their emeralds. One has an expro. I mean, expropriation is not exactly the best thing. Um, it's better than no ritual probably, but I don't know if it's really helping them out here. They're just, if anything, gaining more acres to be taken back faster. I don't know if expropriation is maybe the right ritual to go with at the beginning of war out of protection. Probably not. You're probably looking at an affluent would probably be my best bet here. But look how sweet this new formatter is. I mean, granted, I don't have too much data here, so the chart kind of looks a little bit wonky, but all the important information is here. A little bit better displayed and a little bit easier to see on the screen as well. Before it was a lot more scrolling down. As you can see, one kingdom is clearly has the upper hand here in this war, and one kingdom is clearly taking more damage. I like this side-by-side view, actually. It makes it a lot easier to compare, exactly what the two kingdoms are doing, who's in the top position, middle positions, and who's in the bottom positions here. Awesome, awesome. I love how you guys indicated, who's taking more hits than attacks out with the red and the green. Thank you again for setting this up. Looks good. I mean, it looks way better than Seraphim formatter. I mean, that thing's been great. Don't get me wrong, but you know, this is what we're going to be using going forward, hopefully. All right, let's move on to the next one. Christmas tomatoes and monsters. And oh yeah, did I mention serial killers is probably going to win this war? Just a hunch. All right, let's move on to the next one. Christmas tomatoes versus monsters. This is probably none other than the Tomatoes Kingdom and monsters, I would imagine. Um, why not? Why not? I mean, look at a full kingdom too. That looks interesting. Monsters with a full kingdom and tomatoes with a full kingdom. Should be an interesting age, this age for sure. No one's really in the top position here. Again, this war is only 6 hours old, but it doesn't look like these guys are really going anywhere with that war. So let's just close that up there. So awesome. Guys, enjoy your war. All right. Who else have we got with out of protection war? There's not too many out of protection wars. I'm actually kind of shocked. There was definitely more out of protection wars in the last couple of ages. They've definitely gone down. But who do we have here? Diablo and Wishmasters. We know who Wishmasters are. What up, Wishmasters? What up, guys? Shout out to Golem. I know you're out there, Golem. And some of these names I see all the time. I mean, I don't think they ever change their names. I feel like I've been looking at them for years. uh, all right. Wow. Okay, another pretty even war. I mean, looks like Wishmaster's slightly in a worse position, but again, they're achieving the convergence there, so they're doing well. Rituals are strong out of protection, although it's just expropriation. You know, I don't know. It's definitely better than no ritual. Don't get me wrong. Better than no ritual. Is it helping them win the war? I mean, it should be, but I just don't like expropriation for out of protection wars. That's all. Affluence definitely, again, as I said, probably the way to go. There's nothing beats that income bonus and the troops that you get out of it. So it's worth it. All right, let's move on to the next war. Who else is at war? Who else is at war? War greed. War greed. You guys have some very unique names, gotta say. I mean, you could have at least put anything there, like Kingdom 1, Kingdom 2. Like, you guys are in war. We know you agreed. All right, people, let's see some banners. We got to see some good banner play, some good taunt play. This age is going to be all about pictures and images, and we're going to be, getting kingdoms, images, and identities out there. Not to mention, all the banners and taunt banners provided they're Muga friendly. I want to get them posted as well. So definitely reach out to me with your banners and funny taunt banners if you have any for any potential enemies out there. Remember to keep it Muga friendly because we don't want it to have to be taken down. And want to have a little bit of fun with this. Keep in mind it is coming up to the holiday season, so if you want to incorporate something like that into them, by all means, go ahead and do that. All right, let's take a look and see if there's anything actually going on in this war right now. Nope, nothing at all. Well, there is some good movement here. I mean, Like someone's definitely doing something. And actually, I have to say, this is one of the few occasions where, the wars that we've already looked at so far out of protection, where one kingdom has kind of dipped a little bit lower than the norm here, and they've kind of shot back up and regained traction above the enemy, who was in a slightly better position to go into that. So, definitely strong play here on red side. What do they got here? Avian, Dark Elf, Elf, Fairy, lots of halflings and undeads. Interesting. Versus a primarily Avian halfling. I mean, looks pretty straightforward. I mean, if I had to go out on a limb, I'd say that these Avians are probably orcs or undeads. These elves are probably fairies, or I would say dark elves. Halflings, these are your rogues most likely, and the humans, probably your support casters. Um, Sorry guys if I blew up your strategy, but it's just so blatantly obvious with that setup. Even with the double races, I mean, again, you look on this side here, it's kind of the same thing. We got our attacker cores here, your undeads. I mean, these guys could literally be anything at this time, although there are avians up here. So maybe these are some support casters. This is a number of TMs, rogues, and not too many attackers. So it's possible that they only actually have a handful of undead attackers, some avian supports. These dark elves are probably, they're probably running maybe like heretics, I think. So they're probably going to be attacking, kind of be like a hybrid thing, without actually seeing their second combo or knowing their plan. I'm just shooting in the dark here, but based on the kingdom setup, it kind of, looking that way. They only have one initial elf and two fairies. Very interesting. Definitely a TM heavy kingdom with almost more TMs. Well, definitely more TMs than attackers. Be interesting. Definitely keep an eye on those guys. Again, very strong performance here. You're probably seeing that due to some of that, just that little bit extra TM power that they have, and maybe they have their ritual and the enemy does not, kind of situation. Without pulling too much more information, we don't know too much about what's going on there. All right, let's look at the last war currently in progress. Started 14 minutes ago. Unnamed Kingdom versus Urban Dream. Um, First chart that actually has some interesting land differences here, and it's because there's three provinces missing, but at the same time, there's three new provinces that looks like they haven't even gotten into the game yet. So this is actually an even war, and I guess the difference is the three provinces that the one kingdom has over the other. Nothing's really happening here. Again, we see the three kingdom, three province difference. Let's see, actually, yeah, Urban Dream. You see the three province difference, and as those other provinces aren't actually growing, they're kind of just stagnant. And as the others are damaged, definitely looks like Blue Kingdom's in a good position here. Looks like maybe they had some good hits going into the war. Um, you know, Looks like they're diverging a little bit here. Maybe Urban Dreams is picking up the slack a little bit. But it looks like they've got their work cut out for them because Blue Kingdom's not going to give this one away easy. Awesome. Show us your war wind. Hmm. I don't know, Haffer. Should I? Should I show you my war? Would it make you feel better? Maybe I already showed you my war. I did say I was at war already, but you never know. Maybe I'm just playing around. Maybe I'm playing in ghetto vets. Who knows, man? Who knows? All right. Show is always open. Let's take a look here. We don't have anyone else in the Discord at this time, but that's cool. I wanted to end this show a little bit early. Again, it's kind of a bit of a test more than anything because we have a good event coming up tomorrow with David C. So definitely check that out because we're going to be talking to David C. about the future of Muga and, of course, all things pertaining to Muga. That is uh, what is the game called Generals, as well as Utopia, and how we plan to build Utopia into a much larger, greater game through some achievements and, a lot of hard work on many different people's sides. So thank you to everyone who's watching the podcast, who joined in live, and I hope we see some great wars coming up. Again, out of protection wars, there isn't really much to look at, as you can see, by the charts there. We really did not have much to look at. So I mean, stay tuned for later wars. Once we get into year one, we'll start seeing some more movement on the charts there, and we'll see some more of that more traditional style of movement that, keep in mind, out of protection wars are much different. When it comes to this war point style that we currently have, they are actually important in the sense that you got to win that war to get those points. You know what I mean? If you're missing those points and you have that war loss, how are you going to beat the kingdom that doesn't have the war loss and has like whatever those 3, 4, 5 points, whatever it was, that just pushes them over the edge. So if you're looking to quad crown, that's definitely something you might want to consider as out of protection wars are relatively important if you're looking to do that. But again, it comes down to what your achievements are or goals are as a kingdom. So again, I'll be watching out for that first blood and awarding the first blood achievement to the first kingdom that wins their first war out of protection, and that is only the first kingdom. And we will rely on the target finder as well as the dates of the completed wars. So as I said, the kingdoms that had we'd reviewed first have the best chance at getting that achievement. So best of luck to everyone, and stay tuned for tomorrow's podcast with myself and David C. starting around U27 or 8, depending on how late I get home from work. Thank you for joining, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. Definitely a lot more going to go down later in number two halfer, later in the week. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, and have a great night.